Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Maha Shhadeh from Lebanon, and it's a great pleasure to be with you today in the Edu Talk. Today, I'm going to talk about the magic behind the screen and how it's very important to nurture curious minds offline. Today, we are going to explore how can we inspire children to step away from digital distractions and embrace the wonders of sensory imaginative play. By fostering empathic experience, actually, we can unleash their natural curiosity and cultivate a lifelong love of learning. Here, before I'm going to start, I just want to ask you, do you feel if we are going to look carefully to the screen, we are going to see the children, all of them, without being playing, interacting with each other. Each one of them is holding a device. Do you know actually that according to a recent study, the average children spend over 7 hours actually a day on screen? That's a lot of time, actually. Just imagine a child is going to spend more than 7 hours a day on screen. While technology actually offers many benefits, it's important to create a balance. Today, in my sessions, we are going to delve into the power of unplugged play and discover how simple screen-free activities. We are going to stress on the importance of screen-free activities, how it can spark creativity, how it can boost social skills and ignite a lifelong love of learning in our children. So ditch the device and get ready to unlock the magic that happens beyond that screen. When it comes when it comes actually to the digital world, one can deny its negative impacts. Usually, children spend a long time, as I mentioned earlier, more than 7 hours, engaged with digital devices, often at the expense of their other essential activities. This long time spent on the screen has a many potential drawbacks, especially excessive screen time can lead to a decreased focus, can reduce children creativity, and a challenge in social can lead a challenge in social interaction. Not only that, actually it nurtured well-rounded, curious mind, and that's why we and affect their mental health and well-being. That's why we must make a balance and rediscover the power of unplugged play. When we speak about playing outside, when we speak about hand-on activities, here lies the importance of being away, the magic of being away from the screen. First, such types of activity actually is very important in cognitive skill, whether, for example, the social, emotional growth, imagination, and creativity at the first time. If we are going to talk about the cognitive skills, hand-on activities actually, and the exploration stimulate a problem. It's very important to stimulate a problem-solving skill, critical thinking, and intellectual growth. Also, when it comes to the social emotional growth, when the children are going to play with each other, so this is going to foster communication. They are going to have a chance to communicate with each other. This is going to foster empathy and the ability to navigate social dynamics. Moreover, the last one is going to be imagination and creativity. Such types of activity, students are going to be able to dream. They are going to be able to experience things and also to unlock their boundless imagination. If we are going to give you just an example about such an activity, if we want, for example, all of us, especially parents and educators nowadays, are suffering because of the digital world and they are suffering because of the screen. Here you are going to have an idea about some of the activities that kids can use it. Or if you are going to go back, especially the old generation, you can remember that we used to raise up using such types of activities. Number one, very important, construction and building. When students are going to do construction, hand-on construction activities, this is going to help them to develop a problem-solving skill. Spatial, this is going also to do a spatial awareness and fine motor coordination. The second one, it's art and crafts. Why arts and crafts are very important? Because it's such types of activity can encourage creative expression through art, craft, and design nurtures imagination, fine motor skills, and emotional intelligence. And also, we don't have, beside construction and building activities, arts and the crafts. Also, it's very important to have a board games and puzzles. For example, it's very important for students to do strategic games and puzzles, that because such types of activities are going to enhance critical thinking, collaboration, and a sense of accomplishment. So do your best, parents, educators, to engage your students or engage your kids in such types of activities. Moreover, very important for students to or for kids actually to be engaged in the sensory play with different textures and material. What is the importance? For example, when they are going to to have such types of play, this is going to stimulate their brain development. This is going to enhance their problem solving skills, and this is going to give them a deep understanding of the physical world. Unlike when children are going just to play on devices, when you are going, for example, when you are going to taste, when you are going just to touch something. So this is very important and for kids. Misplay. It's very important to allow our children to explore and experiment with different materials, up, down, colors, or anything. Such types of a play actually encourage creativity, self-expression, and the joy of learning. They are going to be happy just to experience everything. At the same time, they are going to happy through the connection. They are going to use it together, unlike when they are going to play on the digital world, because here they have friends. They feel happy with their friends when they are going to communicate and connect with each other, when they are going, for example, to try all such types of activities. Not only that, we have another types of activities that can help unleash curiosity, which is storytelling and imaginative play. When it comes to imaginative play, actually, I can consider as one of the most important activities. Why? Because with such types of activity, actually, we are going to give a chance for the kids to imagine, to explore, and try. For example, when they are going to dress up, when they are going to role play, doing a role playing. For example, let us say we have a profession day, so they are going to do a role play for a carpenter. They are going to be teachers. They are going to have a role play, for example, to be doctors, to be painters, to be teachers. Such types of play actually is very important for kids, because they are going to be able to experience the real life situation. Not only that, at the same time, with such types of activities, they are going to be able to connect with others. They are going to be able to connect with their friends. So they are going to be in a real life situation. They are going maybe to face a problem and think about the solution. They are going to ask a critical questions, think in a critical way, for example. And sometimes you are going, for example, to be to see that they are going to surprise you. Actually, due because of time, I didn't include one of the activities I did with the kids. It was a profession day. So the kids actually surprised us, because they were creating something we didn't think about. So such types of activities are really very important, because it's going to foster cognitive flexibility, emotional intelligence, and at the same time, it's going to have a deeper understanding of the world. When we talk about imaginative play, also we can't forget story. We can't forget also storytelling. Storytelling is very important in engaging. It's very important to engage our kids in storytelling, whether, for example, storytelling is going to be through books, it's going to be oral traditions, or self-created narrative, because such types of storytelling is going to nurture language skill, it's going to nurture empathy and the love of the learning. The students are going just to feel, they are going to interact, they are going just to learn, for example, many lessons from that, away from the digital world and away from anything that can affect their situation. Also, when it comes to such types of activities, we can't forget the importance of the unplugged play in a social connection. As I mentioned earlier, what is special about such types of a play? Why it's very important to be out of the digital world? If we want to speak about the magic beyond the screen, one of the most important one is social connection. If we're going to look to the picture, we see how much the students, the kids are happy. Why? Because sometimes we feel happy when we are going to connect with a friend, when we are going to connect with a family member or relative. So social connection here with such types of activities, the kids are going to have a chance to have a collaborative play, which is in going engage in such activities with peer foster. This is very important because it's going to foster communication. It's going to foster teamwork. They are going to know how to play, to be in a team, how, for example, to bear a certain responsibility. Whereas in the digital world, they are going to be alone, even though they have sometimes members they are playing with them, but everything is not authentic. But when they are going to be in a real life situation, if they face a problem, they are going to learn how to deal it, and they know exactly what is the meaning of teamwork and the team spirit, and also this is going to help them to grow socially. Moreover, such types of activities help children, help our children to share experience through play. This is going to create opportunities for them to navigate social empathy and build meaningful connections. So this is when it comes to the social life. This is when it comes to social growth. Being offline or being away from the screen is going to give our children the chance to connect with their peers, to connect, to build a friendship, to try to experience many things, to communicate and collaborate, to start a task and end it. Here, when we speak about, we can't speak about such types of activities without highlighting. Actually, even we don't have a lot of time, and I'm trying just to be a little bit fast. It's very important to focus on building a love of learning, the adult role. We as Whether we are going to be educators, whether we are going to be parents, we need to help our kids to know to grow in a healthy way. Very important for the mother, very important for the father, very important for the family, for example, as a whole, to be engaged in kids activity. If you are an aunt, for example, you are an uncle, you are a mom, you are a teacher, you are a father, so it's very important to give your kids the time. And unfortunately, nowadays we have a problem that sometimes you are going to see kids and family together, and each one using his device. We miss, for example, such types of gathering where mother, father, kids are playing and laughing and having special times together, or creating special memories together. So it's very important to be engaged in participation. When adults actually are going to be actively engaged in a play with their children, they model a positive attitude toward learning and discovery. And the children are going to be happy because they are going to feel connected with their parents. And at the same time, parents are the best model, okay, for their kids. So they are going to learn and discover with them. They are going to create memories that last forever. And here, usually, we learn by by experience. Through digital world, we are not going to have the real experience. Very important to foster curiosity. Why? Because we encourage when we are going, for example, to have such types of play, unlike in digital world. We don't have questions. We don't have, for example, we don't have engagement because we are dealing with a machine. Here, we encourage with such types of activity when we are going to have the real one, the authentic one, we encourage a question. It's very important for kids to raise a question. We facilitate exploration and very important to raise the spirit of inquiry and ignite a lifelong love with learning. We inspire, parents can inspire their kids. They can teach them, arouse their curiosity, grab their attention in order to learn and learn, or in order to be to love learning. And also we can add, it's very important when it comes to the adult role to create a play-friendly environment. Very important, the atmosphere, the environment where the kids are going to play. So in order to let our kids be in love with real types of playing and be away from the digital world, we need to design spaces, especially play spaces and routines that prioritize. Actually, we consider the unplugged activities as a priority for our kids, which can cultivate a sense of wonder and joy in the learning process. So the more the environment we are going to create is going to be friendly, is going to be positive, lovely, engaging, the more our kids are going to be away from plugged activities, and they are going to be in love to be back to normal life, life without screen. So here lies the responsibility of the parents, and here lies the responsibility of educators, whether, for example, such types of activities is going to be inside the classroom or if it's going to be inside the kids' home. It's very important. We have the responsibility to encourage our kids to be away from the screen and to engage them in friendly environment, to do a friendly activity that can arouse their curiosity, that can encourage them to be creative. The last thing I would like to add is very important, we as educators to call for action. Usually, we are supposed living in a digital world, and especially when it comes, for example, later on, especially with the introduction of the artificial intelligence, because we can't speak about the artificial intelligence without a digital world, without speaking about the artificial intelligence. Recently, we are living in a world, in a digital world. So we are supposed to do our best in order to know how to deal with our kids, and how to use the artificial intelligence, how to be in the digital world, but to be in a smart way, to take the positive and be away from the opposite. What we are supposed to do, very important for us to incorporate more unplugged activities into our children daily routine in order to nurture the cognitive, social, and emotional development, as I mentioned earlier, if we want to summarize and be called to action. So very important to create such types of activities. Let us make it such type of activity as a part of our kids' daily routine. If we really want, for example, to have a growth, whether, for example, in the cognitive, the social, the emotional level. Also, we need to discover, we as parents, we as educators, we need to discover a wealth of resources. And actually, we have millions. And as I mentioned early, the artificial intelligence, that's what what I mentioned, that use such resources that we can get easily books and workshop in order to deep our understanding of the benefits of unplugged activities, and in order to have more ideas to deal with to deal and work with our kids, because the more we explore, the more we are going to know, the situation is going to be better. And as I mentioned, usually knowledge is power. The more you are going going to have the knowledge, the more you are going, for example, to create a safe environment for your kids. One more thing before we are going to end. It's very important. Usually, I encourage each one of you just to share your experience and encourage other parents and educators to make such types of activities, the unplugged play, as a priority and the magic it can unlock. Let us inspire. So we need it just to make it a daily routine. We need to discover more resources, and also we need to share our experience in order to encourage the parents, in order to encourage the educators to pay attention to such types of activity, and inspire others to do that, because this is a part of our change. And usually, if you want to do a change, you need to start with yourself. And that's why I ask you just to be models for others people. Give, at least, for example, make such types of activity a daily routine, especially now we are speaking about summertime. So we can make such types of activities. We have a variety of activities. We can make it as a part of our kids' daily routine, because you can't ask your kids to be away from a device if you are not going to provide him or her with an alternative. So do your best to have a daily routine, to do such types of activity, variety of activities every day. So the kids are going to forget about the devices, and they are going to forget about their screen. If they are going to feel happy, if they are going to feel connected, if they are going to feel that they are engaged and communicate and collaborate with their peers, I'm sure they are going to forget their device. One more thing to end the session with. We usually need to remember, it's the last advice to end the session with. We need to remember that the magic it truly happen beyond the screen. Okay, if you want your kids to raise in a good way, if you want to just them to be healthy, to be creative, to have a critical thinking, to be able to communicate and collaborate with their peers in a good way, you are supposed to do your best to let them away from the screen, because screen devices, when we speak about devices and a lot of devices, this is going to lead, as I mentioned earlier, to isolation. This is going to lead to the lack of communication. This is going to lead to many social and psychological problems. So we need to do our best. We need to work together to create a world where where the digital world or the unplugged, for example, is a little bit away, where we use it. I don't deny the importance of technology. I didn't say that we need to put all our devices and go back to traditional life. Not at all. What I mentioned, that we need to give our kids a space to play, to spark a lifelong love of learning in our children. So that's my advice for you. Just see the magic. Try to test with your kids the magic that really happened beyond the screen. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more sessions.